What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So you saw the thumbnail and the title. We're talking about the new potential hype monster in Asad Zanzibar. New original release from Lattafa. And I've been spending the last 2 days with it. I got a lot to say. You know, is it worth the hype that it's already garnering? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I do think it's really good, and we're going to dive into this one. So stay tuned. So briefly, we'll just take a quick look. Just looks like the Asad bottle and all the other, from this line of women's fragrances, Yara, Yara Moi, and all those different ones. But it's blue, my favorite color. Well, besides pink. I mean, I know you guys notice I wear a lot of pink. But it does look really good. I gotta say, I've always liked the bottle. I like the Asad bottle. It holds strong into place. And then it does have really good atomizer. Let's talk about this scent, shall we? So I'm going to give myself a little spritz just as a reminder here on the hand. And I got to tell you guys, at the top, it's saltwater coconut. And I've heard some people relate it a little bit to Le Beau. I get a little touch of Le Beau EDT. The Le Parfum, not really. But it's more its own thing, guys. I think people are reaching, trying to tie it to different things. It's not a clone of anything or an inspiration as far as my knowledge. It's an original creation, and it's going to receive a lot of love from a lot of people for the summertime because it does smell really good. The way this incense comes across, it's almost like roasted tonka beans because it's not just immensely smoky and dark, but it does have that kind of roasted feel to this vanillic tone that you get when it dries down. And the coconut here, you get this kind of watery, aquatic, salty, saltwater. I don't know why I'm mincing words here. Saltwater coconut smell early on. A little bit of iris. And the iris here, if anything, I find it to be slightly earthy more so than just mega powdery or anything like that. A little soapy because between the lavender and the iris, it kind of makes this soapy accord more than anything. It's not really waxy and powdery all that much. Just a little bit of powder, not like you would think. And then it dries into a very creamy coconut with that tonka bean vanilla smell, and you still get that incense, that frankincense that's in the base, and that's where it really smells like roasted tonka beans to me. So all in all, it does smell really good. Is it like, oh my God, guys, release of the year, run, buy this fragrance? No, I don't think it's crazy like that. I'm sure there's some people that have already said something along those lines, and people after this review, or around the same time as my review, some people are going to love it much more than me. It's not just hype to hype. Most of the time when you see people get really excited, at least I can only speak for myself, you see me get really excited, I just really like the damn fragrance. Here, I do really like it. I'm not ready to anoint it as the best they're going to do this year. I do think it's a great starting point for them to start releasing these originals with master perfumers. I think this is a great starting point because who doesn't love a phenomenal performing, which we'll talk about in a minute, tropical fragrance for the summertime? Who doesn't like that? Beast Mode Aquatics. It's a thing without smelling crazy synthetic. So they did a really good job here. I don't think it's the best fragrance I've smelled since 2024 started, but it is one of the best I've smelled. And we'll talk about that in my final score at the end. But scent profile, I mean, it's hard to beat. It smells great. It doesn't remind me of other specific coconut fragrances because coconut's been the in thing for the last few years for summer releases. They did a great job. It smells great. Now, performance. This is what's going to make a lot of people very, very happy. So, now this is my experience. I don't know what you're going to get. But for me, it's 12 plus hours. So the very first spray, which was on this hand before the tattoo. So, because clearly, people are going to say, oh, you got new ink. Yes, literally. It's why skin's all red. Just happened a little while ago. That's neither here nor there. But somebody's going to say something. It's an elephant in the room. Got to address it. But I'd sprayed this hand, and the next day, and I mean the sun wasn't down yet when I sprayed it, because I sprayed it right when I got it. And because I purchased this from Lattafa directly. I pre-ordered it. The next day at the gym, and I don't mean my fasted cardio in the morning, I mean like midday lifting at the gym, I could still smell it coming off of my hand, and not a faint skin scent. So longevity here, it's absurd. I mean, wait, 12 plus hours is me just saying it's beyond 12 hours. I mean, we're talking ridiculous kind of unnecessary longevity. Those of you that like spray your clothes, God knows how long this will last on your clothes. So if you're looking for, length of time with your fragrance, absolutely ridiculous monster in longevity. Projection on the heavy side. I wouldn't call it some crazy room filler, but very pronounced, very strong, beyond arm's reach, 2 hours going into the 3 hour mark. I wouldn't call it a heavy room filler, but I would call it like moderate to heavy, beyond arm's reach. People are going to smell you. You crazy heavy sprayers, yeah, you're going to fill the room, but you moderate sprayers to modest sprayers, I'm typically the 5 to 7 spray guy. I did do 7 sprays today when I wore it actually during the day, and it was pumping all day long. I had it right on the elbows, 4 around the neck, and I did do 1 on my chest, which I haven't done in a while, but since it's a fresher fragrance, I did do that. And I didn't really go super anosmic to it right away. It did take a little bit of time, but it was pumping all day long. The sillage on this one definitely falls into that moderate range. It takes forever for it to turn into a faint skin scent. I mean, forever. So, again, this is my experience. There's no guarantees you're going to get the same experience because some of you that value my opinion, you're probably getting really excited with the performance stats that I'm giving you right now. No guarantees, guys. Who knows what it's going to do on you? Only you will find out what it's going to do on your skin if you happen to get it. But across the board, it averages out to being a beast. Ridiculously over a beast in longevity. Beastly in projection. And, not quite a beast sillage, but very strong stuff in that moderate range. So, all in all, it's a monster. Final thoughts on Lattafa's Asad Zanzibar, the new original release. It's great. It is. Now, is it, again, I go back to, it's not the best fragrance I've smelled so far this year. Like Desir Toxic L'Intense. It's one of my favorite releases. I love how that smells. I like that a little bit more. Granted, that's a niche release and all that. I get that. But just immediately that fragrance comes to mind. I would put this, though, in the top 5 of fragrances to come out this year that I've smelled. Counting designers, niche, independent stuff, more affordable things like this. Yeah, this is definitely in that top 5. So with that said, I think it's a great fragrance at 8.5 out of 10. I don't quite give it the 9 that I gave Asad when I reviewed Asad. Reason being, Asad blew me away with how good it was. And the funny thing is, Asad was kind of an inspired clone with a twist kind of thing, where this is an original release. But 8.5 out of 10 is nothing to shake a stick at, guys. I hold those really, really high ratings as close to the best as I can, and only try to give them out to only the things that I deem really super special to me personally, because it's all a taste thing. Some of you may think this is a 10 out of 10, and you know what? To you, it is a 10 out of 10, because it's an opinion thing. But for me, 8.5 out of 10, great. I think that's a phenomenal rating for this. I think it's well warranted, and I think a lot of people are going to be super happy about this. In fact, the link below to Fragrance Buy, actually the day after, because it's the 10th, I'm recording this in the evening. On the 12th, they're doing a restock of this. I think it's going for 37 bucks. So click the link below and click notify me, so the second they drop those, you guys that want to jump on it, you can get it. Because I paid 50 bucks, $49.99 from Lattafa. You can already get it for 37 from Fragrance Buy. So if you're interested in picking it up, there is a link down below. It is an affiliate link. I do make a small commission. Do with that as you will. But yeah, Lattafa did great. 8.5 out of 10. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on the brand new release, Asad Zanzibar from Lattafa. If this is the direction Lattafa's going now, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do in the future. Because last year they had a bunch of great clone releases. So now we're going to be getting some originals with some master perfumers. Okay. And they're affordable from Jump Street. Color me intrigued and count me in. I'm here for it. So Lattafa, anybody that sees this, I'm curious to see what you guys are going to do next, because kudos. It's great. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. How many of you already picked this up? Was it underwhelming for you? Because I've seen some of that feedback from people in my comments on my Scent of the Day post already. Not everybody's going to feel this way. And again, there's people that are much more into this than I am, even. So it's going to be all over the spectrum. And then, of course, because it's going to get hyped, you're going to have the people that feel like it's cool to hate on something getting hyped on the internet. So this is going to get a lot of internet press in the online community. So get ready to see every side of the spectrum, from ridiculous, unnecessary, hateful trolling, fun trolling, didn't like it, kind of like it, it's really good, it's the best fragrance in my collection. Oh, it gets all these compliments. You're going to see all of that if you're paying attention to posts around the various social platforms on the internet when it comes to this fragrance. This stuff's going to get a ton of attention, both good, bad, and indifferent. So kudos to Lattafa, because attention's attention when you're selling a product, right? So until next time, I will say if you get your hands on Lattafa Asad Zanzibar and you give it a spray now, I can't guarantee anything, but you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.